Hello, ladies and gentlemen. What it be? What it do? It's your boy, Keen Decker, back at it again. Hope you're all having a lovely, lovely new year. I missed it by like 9 minutes. My bad. My bad. Oops. I was working kind of late. I tried to get back pretty early, but it did not happen. So sorry about that, chat. But we are back now. Shokeen and Dekgina. I'm a good guy. I would never do that. I would never do that. I'm a wholesome chungus. I mean, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Bowtie. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, we got the camera back on. The camera's gonna be permanent. Look at how incredibly white I am. Like, look at. I got like color in my face, like. I got like rosy cheeks because I've been drinking a little bit, but look at the look at this, bro. Look at this. I'm so incredibly. I went to Florida too. I mean, granted, when we were in Florida, it was like kind of, I don't know. It wasn't super warm weather, so I didn't spend like a ton of time in the sun. But yeah, I'm whiter than ever. I am sun deprived as ever. But I hope you guys are having a lovely, lovely New Year's. I popped on tonight because I really wanted to do actually a Claire Obscure stream. But I realized when I got home that I have not downloaded the game yet. So there's that. There is that. It's 14% done. So maybe I'll just have to stream it tomorrow. I kind of feel bad that I feel actually massively bad because I promised that I would stream it yesterday. But yesterday was, yeah, it was a day. So sorry about that, chat. I really wanted to, but Lalo and viewers, what were you streaming? Were you streaming more Ark? Were we streaming more Ark? But I hope you guys are having a lovely, lovely start to your new year. I'm just hopping on for the night. I'm going to go through kind of what this past year, like everything that kind of happens, and what the next year kind of has in store. Epic, baby. Lalo, were you streaming Ark Raiders? Thank you for the raid. I appreciate you. So, to start things off, I do have to apologize. Unfortunately, I really do realize it. The content for this past year, it was not up to par. And I apologize. I really, really do apologize. I was going through kind of a lot this past year. Or the past couple of years. It's been really realistically about 5 years that I've been going through some really kind of bad places and spots in life. And instead of kind of pushing through it and working through it in a healthy way, I regressed a bit. I turned off my camera. I stopped making as great content. I stopped putting out shorts. I stopped trying as much this year. And I do feel bad for that. So just as a general, and I know it's healthy to take breaks, and I know it's like, I know it's good to step back from things when you're going through some stuff, and I've been going through it realistically, whatever, throughout the entirety of my YouTube streaming and Twitch streaming career. But it's not really much of an excuse if I want to make good content, and I want to do this as like a, as a job and as a business. I really, really should be more transparent, and I should connect to you guys more, and I haven't been doing that. Instead of kind of looking for new ideas and looking for new content to produce for you guys, I kind of regressed. Like I said, I turned my camera off. I started doing streams that were a lot more comfortable for me and more convenient for me. I did Whatnot streams, which were kind of like a temporary, like, hey, this is really, really fun. I met a lot of really cool people on Whatnot, don't get me wrong, but in a sense, I really regressed. Like, I definitely did. I had a really tough year, so I kind of buried myself in the sand a bit. I was like, weighing more than I ever had in my life, which now I'm down like about 15 pounds, 15 to 20 pounds, which is great. I'm really happy. I'm in a better spot now than I have been in the past like 5 years. And for that, I'm actually very, very grateful and very, very happy. But I wanted to publicly apologize just for the fact that I've been working on a lot of things this year, but I haven't been publicly streaming and producing content for you guys that is worthwhile to watch. And I apologize for that. I really, really do. I do genuinely feel bad when I put out streams and videos that are not up to par with what I would typically wish to produce. When you like put something out that's like subpar, no matter what facet of work you're in, it feels bad. It does feel bad. I mean, just consider that you're like a singer and you release an album, and you feel like you really didn't put a lot into it. And no matter what it does, whether it's super successful or very like not successful, it always affects you. I've known like a couple of artists that are very much so like that. Like they'll not put a lot of work into something. They'll be going through a lot, and they put in an album, and they're like, man, I feel really bad. That's kind of where I was at this year. I was working on Mart's Dungeon very, very thoroughly throughout the entirety of the year. But for the rest of the work that I was putting out onto the internet and sharing with you guys, it was schlop. It was not good. And I apologize for that. I was just kind of like trying to find comfort in streaming more so than like finding a healthy balance in both. Like, because when I'm at my best, I feel very happy when I'm streaming. I'm doing like a lot of solo player games, and I'm also streaming with my friends. I'm uploading a lot of shorts. I'm working on Mart's Dungeon content, and I'm thinking of new things to produce for you guys, new ideas. But that was not this year. This year was, I thought your OnlyFans videos were very tastefully done. Thank you. I appreciate that. Glad you're in a better spot. Yeah, so I guess to go back a little bit, I have been suffering with some really, really bad, and I'm not going to go into the details as to why I've been going through it, some really, really bad anxiety for the past, it's been about the past 5 years. So the past 5 years I've been going through terrible anxiety, and I didn't really know what it was to begin with. I thought it was actually like acid reflux to begin with, because my stomach would get like really upset and I would have trouble breathing, and I would have kind of acid reflux symptoms. But that was actually just a result of me having really, really terrible anxiety. And I didn't know how to deal with it because I was kind of just misdiagnosing myself. I was just I don't know. Like I literally thought it was like acid reflux for about a year. And I went to like a throat doctor. The throat doctor looked at me and he's like, no, I mean, you look pretty good. It looks like, I mean, maybe you have like some mild acid reflux, but your throat looks pretty good. And I had talked to my doctor a couple of times. He's like, anxiety is always a possibility. It might be anxiety. I thought maybe I had ADHD. I would have trouble sitting down, watching YouTube videos, for example, watching videos on the couch with like watching anime on the couch with Josh. Like I would be constantly like anxious and like kind of pulling at my hair, have my my hands above my head. I would have trouble breathing, like anxiety, like it was crazy. And I should have realized it sooner. I was like, maybe I have ADHD. It wasn't that. I mean, realistically, it was anxiety from a lot of stuff that has been and had happened in my life. And so I went through therapy for a little bit, and that helped a decent bit. I stopped doing therapy, but I did end up starting on anxiety medication this year. Towards the very, very tail end. I've been somebody that's been very, very like very cautious when it comes to anxiety medication because I really didn't want to misdiagnose myself and just be taking something for the hell of it. And so it was very much so the last resort when it came to my mental health. I really didn't want to take anything. I wanted to try to just work things out inside my own, headspace first and fix things in my life. But I have a lot going on in my life. Not even just in the streaming realm, but in my own personal facet of life. I mean, there's a lot of family things. There's a lot of self-worth issues, I suppose. And that stuff is always going to be there until I actually step up and deal with it. But now that I've started on anxiety medication, I've actually been in a very, very good spot. I have been more active. I have been more creative. I have been more positive. I just realized that I spent a lot of my time just worrying about things that were outside of my control that I really realistically could not do a lot about. And no matter what I did, and no matter like the ways I tried to work through things in my own headspace, I just needed something at the end of the day. I really did. And I didn't want it to be like any substance, you know what I didn't want it to be alcohol. Like I didn't want it to be anything like that. I just needed something to help me because I really, really care about my work. But the thing is at the end of the day, I was so anxious that I wouldn't be able to sit down and work. I wouldn't be able to do the things that I absolutely loved. Streaming, playing games and like focusing on the games and entertaining chat. I would have minor distractions and little bouts of the day where I felt pretty good, but maybe like 8 hours out of the day, I felt like I couldn't breathe. And it's unlivable. Like it's so hard to deal with. And I really do empathize with the people that go through these types of things because before this, I didn't really understand it to the fullest, but now I really, I do. It's difficult. And I've been struggling for it, through it for, like I said, about 5 years. And so this year it hit the hardest. This was absolutely probably the most difficult year of my entire life. I'm getting older. The streaming space, it's very much so catered to a younger audience of content creators. I get that. And I was never somebody that was willing to shy away from a challenge and from a, I don't care how old I get. I love being who I love to be on the internet. My personality and the way I play games and the friends that I have on the internet, we create some of the greatest content that is out there. And I wholeheartedly believe that. And that's not even me being like incredibly selfish. It's just me being self-aware at things that I know are funny and things that I know, like when we are on our game, we create some incredible content. It's just I need to be in the right headspace to provide that content to you guys. And I apologize profusely that I have not been doing a good enough job to do, put that out to you guys. I really, really do. It's time to be positive and focus on the day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let me tell you, I'm done with this year. I really, really am. And I don't mean to be cliche, but the turn of the new year really, really does open up a new book for me. Coincidentally, we are going to be releasing March Dungeon this year. March Dungeon, the first audiobook. I've been working on this for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years. 2 years in the process of kind of conceptualizing everything and determining how I really want to put this book out and make it. But I am in the literal final chapter of March Dungeon, the audiobook, right now. And so I just need to finish up the book. The last chapter, I need to go back through, edit everything, have some readers go through it, and then I get to start making the audio for the book. I'm assuming it's going to take longer than I think it will. So it might be a couple of months, like 2 months, but I'm very ambitious and I want to release it in February. I really, really want to release it in February, which I was thinking like towards the earlier parts of February, but maybe like the mid to later parts of February, just to give myself enough time to complete the book and make it as kind of perfect the things that I really, really want to perfect. This book really, and Mart's Dungeon as a whole, aka Nickel Mentia, it's going to be the series, it's going to be called Nickel Mentia. It comes from the heart. It comes from a lot of personal experience. It comes from a lot of things that I've learned in life. There's a lot of life lessons in there. There's a lot of moral lessons in there that I've learned personally throughout life in the 32 years I've been alive. There are a lot of like a lot of experiences and a lot of just fun and beautiful characters in it that I've poured my heart and soul into. There's just little tiny facets from every single bit of my life that exist in this book. And I'm very, very excited about it. So, if you guys wish to, if you are willing to, just spread the word. You don't need to purchase the book. It's going to be available on Audible eventually, and I'll spread the link out, and I'll do a good job advertising the book. Thank you so much. Also, a huge shout out to all the people that crowdfunded the book, the advertising for the book. It's going to go a long way. I'm going to put a good amount into advertising this book, and I really, 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 at the end of the day, I wish more than anything for this to be successful. I have just... Mart's Dungeon as a concept and as a whole is the proudest I've ever been of something that I've done. And so, yeah, if you guys want to help, just share the book. You don't even need to purchase it. Just make sure you spread word. I am going to be watching through the entirety of season 2 for Mart's Dungeon up until the book's release. I don't know if it's going to be 2 episodes a day, if it's going to be 1 episode a day. For the most part, I'm assuming it's probably going to be 1 episode a day. We're going to stream it. We're going to watch it together. So if you guys have never watched Mart's Dungeon before, if you need a recap on things, you can just join our watch party. We're all going to be in VC together. We're just going to watch it through together. And then, so where that brings us is February, we're going to be releasing Mart's Dungeon. And then after February, I am going to be, pretty much immediately after the Mart's Dungeon release, I'm going to be bringing back chat prompts. And chat prompts, if you guys are not aware of what chat prompts is, you guys get to decide the content. You guys put a pick on a picker wheel every single week, and we roll for the week, and you guys get to decide the content, essentially. And people that are subs and people that are supporting on the Patreon get, a little bit extra in terms of like the sway for the votes, just in terms of the amount of space it takes up on the wheel. But anybody, whether you are subbed or not, if you guys are active in the live streams, just hop in, and it's going to be on Mondays that we do those lives. Actually, no, sorry. It's going to be on Sundays that we do those live streams. You guys get to decide the content. Just show up, give recommendations. It can be IRL stuff. It can be gaming stuff, but there's always just a challenge that it's accompanied by it. And yeah, chat prompts is really, really fun. I really like the idea. It's a nice thing to be able to do on the side while I'm doing my other content. And you guys get to decide the content, so it's always super, super creative. Everything I've been through in the last year and the last few, yeah, these past couple years have been tough for a lot of people, and I really do, I'm my heart goes out to you guys. It's been difficult, especially, I don't know, there's just the way the internet is evolving. There is a tendency there's definitely a tendency to kind of separate and isolate and deal with things on your own. A lot of people find comfort in and I know I do too, the instant gratification of the internet, whether it's, YouTube shorts, reels like TikTok, just hopping on social media and hanging out for a couple of hours. Video games. There's a lot of just instant gratification that comes along with trying to get away from the bad things in life. But I want you guys to know that while those things of like instant gratification, they can bring you happiness, they absolutely can in certain little small ways. True happiness comes from fulfillment. It really does. Find something that you love to do. Find people that you genuinely care about. Reach out to them, help them, do things that you love, and pursue something that you really, really enjoy. Because at the end of the day, fulfillment is, it's the end all be all. It really is. If you're doing good work, if you're doing things that you are personally very proud of, helping people that you care about, those are the best things that you really realistically can do for yourself and your mental health. I've learned that. It's been, a lesson that you never realistically stop learning. So yeah, make sure to hang out with your friends too. Like, be vocal. Try not to isolate as much. That's something that I've been learning. I when I get upset, when I'm going through stuff, I like to be alone, and everybody grieves and everybody goes through their own hardships in their own way. They really do. I know I do. I like to shut down and I like to be alone. But after you're done kind of being alone and conceptualizing everything that's making you upset, make sure to reach out. Make sure to hang out with your friends. Make sure to do some things that are constructive for your own mental health as well. It's very important. And just, I don't know. But like I was saying, sorry, before I got off on that tangent, we're going to be bringing back chat prompts. That's going to be going up until about late June. And then in July, we're going to be bringing back Mart's Dungeon. Mart's Dungeon Season 3. So Season 3 is going to be leaving off. I wasn't sure whether it was going to be Season, 2, the continuation of it, or if I was going to, consider it Season 3. I think we left off in a good spot to actually consider it Season 3. We're about halfway through the campaign, and I really want to complete the story. And from there, I would love to do other stories in the Nickel Mention universe. I really, I have like this kind of immaculate vision in my head of Mart's Dungeon and where things should go and the different projects I can go off into. And at the end of the day, I actually really want to share with you guys that my end goal is to have Mart's Dungeon be like the main thing that I really delve into and go into. I would love to get Mart's Dungeon to the points where I can do like an adventure RPG land in real life. Have a couple of establishments, whether it's, local or, all over. But kind of like an RPG Adventureland where people can come and sign up for a one-shot, and in live action they can do their one-shot. They can go through their campaign, and based on what missions and like quests they go through in their campaign, they would be rewarded in store. And I think that would just be so cool. I think that'd be really, really cool. You would have like an assigned DM to run through your one shot, or if you guys are kind of more so into the actual just TTRPG, like the tabletop element of it, just doing a one shot in person with a DM and just having an entire store set up as like an adventure RPG realm, just in that sense. I think that'd be really, really cool. That's at the end of the day, if I could have Mars Dungeon get that big, that I could have something like that, I would be so thrilled. Um, I want to act out the plot of the most dangerous game. Can you accommodate? Yes. Yes. But think about it. It'd be like a live action role play with a one-shot campaign in like a dedicated kind of setting. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people will get together in live action role play, and the community kind of decides on like what they want to do for like the LARPing. But this would be like a dedicated one shot that has like a story, has a direction. I would have like a grid set up on like a giant field. Like that would be so dope. Tell me that wouldn't be super, super dope. Have like different locations that they could go to, and then they would have battlefields that they show up to, where it would have like a grid set up, kind of like a top-down Fire Emblem, where they would like live action role play with their characters in the one shot. That would be so fucking cool in my head. I know that sounds incredibly nerdy, but yeah, I don't know. I would love to see that, and I would love to make that come to real life. But yeah. So man, that's what this year kind of has in store. We got Mart's Dungeon, the audiobook, we have chat prompts, and then we have Mart's Dungeon returning in July. I really want to get it back in July of this year for the campaign, finish up the campaign, and then who knows from there. But in the meantime, we're going to be doing a lot of content with friends. We're going to be doing something that I was considering of doing, just going through my Steam library, and each day just going through a different game. And so like it'll be alphabetical order. So whatever games I have in my Steam library, I would just go in alphabetical order and kind of bang them out. And, you know, if it's a game that's not worth playing, we'll maybe move on to the next one. But, or if it's like a continual game, we'll do like 1 or 2 streams of it. But I really, really want to just like work my way through the entirety of my Steam library, because there's probably about 80% of the games in my Steam library that I just haven't even played. And I feel like I'm just, I don't know, I'm pigeonholing myself into like which games I'm playing and not playing, because I'm you know, worried about going outside my comfort zone. Not really sure. I have a tendency to play a lot of the same games that I really, really just like to play. But yeah, so the camera's going to be back on from now, from here on out. I was just really, last year I was just really incredibly self-conscious. I think I'd been gaining a lot of weight, and a lot of it was due to the anxiety that I had. I was eating a lot. To just kind of quell off how anxious I was, because usually when I ate, I felt a little bit better. But yeah, it wasn't healthy. It really wasn't healthy. And I've been losing, you know, weight kind of just gradually as I've been more active and just working on things in life, which I'm happy about. And so yeah, I know my room is a complete and utter mess. My room is like it's a fucking war zone. It's always been a war zone, but that was also partially why I turned my camera off for the longest time. I'm like, man, my room just looks like shit. The streaming environment I have, it just looks terrible. But either it's one of those things that I need to embrace and just like accept the things that are, you know, at the end of the day, I don't have my room the cleanest that it is, and I don't have my streaming environment, you know, the cleanest and nicest that it could be. But I need to accept it. I really do. Either I need to just like make everything look pristine, what I, you know, in which I would like to kind of have it look, or I need to stop kind of bitching and just turn on the camera, record my live reactions to the games I do, and create some really good content, which is what you guys deserve, and it's what I have been kind of denying you for a full year. And I apologize for that. I really do. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that I wanted to say. And sorry to kind of dump so much shit on you guys. I do apologize for that. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful start to your new year. I hope wherever you are, that you are with family, you're with friends, you're having a great time. And just remember, even if you're not, even if you just spent an entire day at work, or just like you had a super, super boring day, it doesn't matter that much. You know what I mean? New Year's, it's just like a day of celebration, but where the true satisfaction from the new year comes is...
With your host, Team Denver.
Oh shoot.
Yes,
Oh shoot.
has a name tag.
Who was that?
Hope 2026 is the year you want it to be.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think that was probably Mr. Bowtie. If I had to guess, my camera was over the notification code, so I couldn't see it. I apologize. I need to fix a lot of that stuff. I've been so lazy. I really have. I'm so sorry, guys. And yeah, 2025, you know, whether it's what I fully expect or not, I'm okay with it. If Mart's Dungeon isn't as big of a pop-off, all good, bud. Thank you, Bowtie. I really, really genuinely appreciate you. Thank you so, so much for the dono. I really appreciate it. But I will say that nothing in life, maybe there's like 1 or 2% of things in life that will go exactly the way you plan for things to go. And that's okay, and that's super healthy. What's not healthy is what I kind of do, and setting up these grand expectations of like, hey, everything needs to go exactly according to plan or better, and they need to be like exactly the way I kind of planned for things to go out. I set up like these really unrealistic goals for myself, and when I don't reach them, I get very disappointed. So at the end of the day, I'm starting to understand that 2026, whether it's exactly what I expected it to be, better, worse, whatever it may come, I need to find my own happiness in it. I need to just be proud of the work I'm putting out. And because I'm very, very proud of just the things that I create. But for some reason, I have been looking for validation in other facets of what people think and what people say and online traction. And for a long time, for my entire streaming career, it's been like that. I've been very self-conscious of what other people think and how it's received, especially what other people think of it. And while I still, like to take those things into consideration, I've also realized that the internet is just, it's an ever-changing landscape. And it is, I don't know how to say this. The internet is becoming a more unhealthy place day by day, I think. In the very beginning of streaming, I was like, man, I really want to be the top dog. I want to be, I want to be creating like the newest and craziest content, be innovative. Like I want to find that niche that everybody is missing, but like not just stick to one game, you know what I mean? Like Mario or Zelda, whatever it may be. I want to like do variety. I want to create funny content. I want to create old news and this and that and that. But I was very stubborn and very arrogant in the fact that I'm like, it has to work. Like, if the content is good and the content is funny, people will come. That is not the way streaming and content creation works. There are realistically hundreds of thousands of incredible content creators that will never be seen on the platform for what they probably want to. There's a lot of people that really reach for the, being seen and being like the top dog, you know what I mean? They go out of their way to create incredible content. But if you don't advertise yourself, if you do not constantly pursue and make the right decisions, and if you are not lucky, I know that sounds incredibly skeptical, but there is a lot of luck involved. when it comes to live streaming, and in content creation in general. You have to give it your 112%, but you also have to get lucky. You have to meet the right people. You have to be noticed by the right people, because gaining traction is like a match trying to light an entire fireplace of wood logs. No cardboard, no paper, no little, cheating like fire sticks. It really is lighting a match and trying to light a wood fire block, and start a fire. And for some people, that 1 in 100,000 chance, they do get lucky and they do get noticed. And there's a lot of people out there that create incredible content. You see like the Burnt Peanuts of the world. You see, honestly, like the Jinxies of the world. And for what it's worth, I Show Speed has put a lot of work into his content and, created and done a lot of very innovative things. There are a lot of content creators out there that constantly pursue the idea of just making new and innovative content, and they rebrand themselves constantly. Queso. There are a lot of people out there that really do deserve the place that they're in. You know what I mean? And for the longest time, I really did try to convince myself. And I'm like, hey, if you don't have the viewership that you desire, if you don't have those, tens of thousands of people watching you, is your content really that good to begin with? Did you really deserve it in the first place if you don't have it? And I'm mixed on that. I am mixed on that because I'm very, very hard on myself. So I know that there's always room to improve. But for the content that I put out that I'm very proud of, especially the Mars Dungeon content, the reason that I stopped doing it halfway was because I'm like, man, it's difficult. It's difficult when people don't watch. It's difficult when you don't, not even when people don't watch, but when you don't get the reception from people, whether it's negative or positive, criticisms. It's difficult when you feel like you're kind of just screaming into the void and nothing pops back to you. Sure, and that's not anybody's problem. That's not anybody's issue. Nobody is at fault for that other than the person that is screaming into the void, realistically, right? Like, I know that is my issue. Because at the end of the day, like I said, the entertainment business is just that. Nobody owes you their time. Nobody owes you a second chance. Whether imagine you pop into somebody's stream and it's something that's not incredibly eye-catching or captivating to you as an audience member. Are you going to come back? Probably not. The recommended section of YouTube or Twitch or Twitter, TikTok, whatever it may be, they might re-recommend you a video a while down the road, and you might watch that, and engagement might come through the algorithm. But if you're not engaged from the first video you watch, or if you pop into somebody's stream and they're not providing you good enough content, are you going to come back? If it's somebody that you've just met, probably not. I know, personally speaking, like I've had a couple instances where I've seen a video and I'm like, it was okay. And the algorithm has recommended me another video. I watched and I was like, oh, this person's actually pretty entertaining and pretty funny. But it's very few and far between. And that's just the way the entertainment business is. It's something that you have to kind of get used to as a content creator, as a comedian, as a live performer, whatever it may be, whatever kind of profession that you're taking that includes entertainment. You have to get used to those types of things. And it's a long lesson. It's a long and hard lesson that you have to condition yourself to get used to. And I feel like I'm finally in a good enough spot that I'm understanding that I do not need to be the top dog out there. The internet is so vastly different than it used to be. It's gotten overall, I would say, a lot more negative than it used to be. there's a lot of people that just kind of outwardly hate on things that they don't really understand, or they get incredibly parasocial about lives that they are not involved in, and it's not healthy. Either way, it's not incredibly healthy. The amount of time that we spend on social media kind of dogging on one another, and leaving negative responses to our fellow, just humans in general, it's not healthy. The way it's difficult to break, it really is. I mean, it comes down to the individual at the end of the day. But I'll hop into so many comment sections on X, Twitter, whatever you call it, and I'll see somebody talking about a streamer's life that they don't know the person whatsoever. They haven't even watched the person, but they leave like incredibly negative content, comments on these people's videos. And at the end of the day, it is the content. You take that risk. You do. As a content creator, if you're putting something out there, it is susceptible to be, scrutinized, and just have people be incredibly negative about it. But it was very revealing to me when I, through the past couple of years, just watched the way people interact with content online, and how reckless, because I don't think people understand how much it does affect certain content creators. It doesn't really affect me. I'm gonna be honest. The things that people say to me, if it's somebody I don't know, I don't realistically give much of a fuck. If it's like non-constructive criticism from somebody I just don't even know, whether they're just trolling or looking to be negative, I am so good at just being like, bro, I don't give a single fuck. I really don't. I could not care less about your opinion and the things that you think about me. Constructive criticism, love it. I love being able to learn and work on things. Positive comments, cool. Like I'll take it. I don't take positive, comments super well. I don't take compliments super well, but I appreciate them, But what really gets me is if somebody I genuinely care about, if I feel like I've let them down. And that's what I felt like this last year has been for my community, and I apologize for that. I've noticed that, the people that have been coming in, that have been regulars, have been coming in less, and it's because my content's just been lazy. I apologize. It's just been me kind of hopping online and streaming for whatever 8 hours of League of Legends. I get it. I really do hear you guys, and I understand it's lazy content. It's unacceptable, and I look to kind of remedy that in the next year, and put out some stuff that maybe you guys would be happy with and that I can be proud of. And so, yeah, this past month it's been a rough chat. The holiday season is meant to be kind of, especially Christmas time. Christmas time for me and my family has always been sacred, in the fact that me and my closest family, whether it's me and my mom, my dad, and my brothers. Before then, it was me, my grandparents, my aunts and uncles. I've lost a lot of them. A lot of them are gone now. My aunts and uncles. I only have one aunt left. I do have one uncle left, and he's not really part of the family much anymore. He's gone away. He doesn't really connect with us anymore. But the people that were very close to us in our family, most of them have passed away, and at a very young age. And it's been very difficult, not just for me, but especially for my mom. She's lost a lot of her brothers-in-law, sister-in-law, brothers and sisters. And she's been going through a lot, and it's led to her not having, which I can't really go into full detail, chat, but it's led to her having a lot of problems and a lot of issues, and it's been tough on the family. So I've, like I said, I think a lot of the anxiety for myself personally has been coming from sorrow and for worry for my closest family. And this holiday season was rough. This Thanksgiving and Christmas especially were very, very rough. And I wasn't transparent with you guys. I do apologize. I just feel like there's certain things in somebody's life that, I wanted to let you know there's something wrong, but I can't really talk about what's going on. But yeah, just know that it's been hard. And I really, really, really do appreciate all of you guys that have been tuning in. I really appreciate you guys have stuck around. Bowtie, James, 10-minute break, Verathia, Bikel, P-Time, Ditto, that entire group of people. Innocent White Girl is a champion. I don't know. The Innocent White Girl's popped in like, whenever they can, and it really does make my day when they pop in and they're just like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh man, like they're like such an old viewer that just like I've never interacted with them personally, other than like live streams and just like live chat streams, but there's just something about seeing a chatter who's just always there. They always come back. They left for a little bit and then they came back. It just it humbles me. It really does. Thank you so much. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's just the point of the stream. I just wanted to let you guys know what's going on. I wanted to thank you so profusely just for what you guys have done for me and how you've supported me throughout the years. You guys have been always here for me, and I really want to be back there for you guys, making stuff that you'll be happy to watch. Shout out to White Girls. Yeah. Shout out to White Girls. Oh man. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I thank you. And I hope that you guys have a splendid new year. I hope that the things that you want to work towards, that you make great strides in your own personal life, as well as, with other people's lives kind of intertwining, new relationships, new ambitions, new, jobs, new things to work on, new projects. And I hope you guys succeed adequately in what you kind of wish to have happen, because you guys deserve it. I do genuinely, I know everybody will say it, but I do genuinely feel like I have just the absolute closest community of people that just genuinely very much so care. And you guys are here for my worst and you're here for my best. And thank you. Thank you very much. I know I'm a complete and utter liar. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I really wished I managed my time a little bit better this week. But I somehow slept through the entirety of yesterday that I was supposed to do Claire Obscure. And so I'm going to have to stream that probably tomorrow. Maybe we can do it tonight. I really wanted to make a dedicated stream to just explain what's going on, to thank you guys, and to wish you the absolute best in the world, because I feel like I feel very close to you guys. I feel a lot of people will have the separation of this kind of hierarchy There's like the streamer, there's the viewers, the streamer and the viewers. There's the streamers, the viewers, and sorry, the mods and the viewers. It's never been like that. I really do feel so incredibly close to the people that come into my streams constantly as regulars, especially. I feel like I get to know you guys. I get to know what's going on in your lives. I get to genuinely appreciate you for your differences and for your personalities, and it's fascinating. I get to meet people from all over the internet, and that is just something that is truly blessed. That's something that not a lot of people get to do. There's people, there's don't get me wrong, there's millions of streamers out there, surely, but not a lot of people get to really know other people on a personal level through streaming, and that is something that I can say I'm incredibly successful with. I get to know so many different people, so many, so much of you guys, that just on a very personal level. So yeah, I'll try to be more active in the live streams, my content. I'll be uploading more shorts. We got Mars Dungeon, the book. I'll be more active in the Discord as well. I need to revamp the Discord this year. I realize that I've been neglecting that. And a lot of, the community comes through social media. I'm genuinely, and I apologize, I'm not much of a social media person. Not much of a social media savant. As you can see, I post on Twitter like 12 times a year. I'm not great with it, but I will try to be more active with it. I tend to have a tendency of getting like I don't know, kind of down on social media and disheartened. But I need to be better about it. It's the best form of just communicating and reaching out to people in the modern day. And yeah. So once again, thank you guys. I know, a lot of you guys are celebrating out there with your friends and family. God bless you. I really, really genuinely love you. And at the end of the day, I'll be doing this for a long time coming. Thank you for supporting me and allowing me a chance to pursue my dreams. Thank you. Have a nice night.